Well, go on sports fun. So wait, they want to the countdown.
I want to count now.
Anyways, people, tell me if you not like the countdown now we've been again recently. Bro, the light kind of reflect off from being a
So
bit
turn
clear.
the beanie back with it, brother. And nobody want beanie nothing, bro. Yeah, rock a tam, brother.
It's a beanie, bro. It's a beanie. Anyways,
Come on.
well, go on sports fans. Welcome back to another very special episode. A very special episode of This or That Sports TV. I'm your host, Joe Man.
I'm Rush.
And this is This or That Sports TV, the place you guys come to get the best, most interesting, and riveting sports topics, discussions, and debates on the internet.
Yes, people. But before we get into today's video, don't forget to like this one. Leave a comment and subscribe to This or That Sports TV, please. And one more thing for us, though. Do one more thing for us, though. Do one more thing for us, though.
Oh, yeah, share the video to at least 10 people, then try to get us 6 subscribers. Because each and every one of you guys can manage to do that. Do you know how many subscribers that gets by the end of the day, people?
Yeah, we're closing on 7K. But I don't know why I don't just keep on and say 6K now. I feel like I change it a good 10 times now, And I still I say 6K now, my father. People get us to 7K, we're 100 subscribers away. Little bit of numbers that compared to what I have right now still. I really appreciate the subscribers. So share the thing now, man. I feel like I'm gonna stop share it. Why don't stop share it? Share the thing, man. Get us to 7K. But yeah.
Maybe like come in and being today, they might listen and follow instructions.
Them good to do it today.
Dog, actually a long time when I say yo do the maths. I remember them old time lingo that we used to use, bro, like do the maths and them
I'm
something.
good to do the maths. Couple people did do the maths and them things. So
you start
need to start share about the video them. We should start do some live and something
the
and get the
maths.
interaction back up. Since we're more active, the subscriber count are good. Some like it. Keep it pushing, people. So I know you guys saw the thumbnail and the title. And that's what we're here to do a reaction video, bro. It's been a good couple of months since we react to something. And we have to react to this. You know, the press conference for the Trinidad and Tobago Gold Cup game. You know, happened yesterday and we're here to talk about it. I feel like, yeah, we uploaded the full video and it was titled Explosive Press Conference. It wasn't quite explosive, but I can say some interesting things happened in the press conference, and we got some answers that we like and some that we need to react to. We need to break down and make the people really understand what I got. What you feel about that?
Okay, do it now.
Let's go. So let's get right. Let me put it up on the screen real quick.
Let's get right and put it up on the screen real quick.
I'm gonna cut that. You don't know if you just nobody say what you say, I say something else. Why you being so slow, bro?
It just never connect to me, bro.
Why? I want to tell you then. Anyways, people. Oh, quick plug. So there's a full press conference on This or That Sports TV. There's also a highlight video of the press conference where we take some bits and parts of the press conference and upload it. So can check that out. Anyways, here we go. So the first part of the highlight is, one of the journalists asked Leon Bailey about Whisper. This is actually the first time we hear Leon Bailey talk about Whisper since, he blew up on the scene. So let's hear where the ball off say.
4-4 kick like
Well, first of all, it's always nice to, have somebody you see grew up from they were very, very small. I was one of the first person who actually brought Whisper into Phoenix. Well, we saw him out by, no, not Trelawney, out by Port Royal. And to see him become the man he is now, it's nice to see, and you don't really see this a lot. And I think you just have to really, be happy about
We'll see this a lot.
Yeah. You see a lot.
the situation and just enjoy it. But I think the most important thing is that he's enjoying. But it's great to have him there. It's great to actually just be a leader for him, an example, and show him the way, because obviously he's very talented. Everybody, his name is out there now. There's going to be a lot of pressure on his shoulder. But I think so far it's been good. He's been gelling in with the team very well. Still has a lot of learning to do, but he's going to get there with the right support, the right people behind him. And yeah, with the national team, it's been great. I mean, there's always room for improvement, but I think so far it's been, learning and trying to, get the best of what he can out of this experience.
No, it actually feel like a British tongue sometimes still, that. You see, but
You good, brother?
that me just find that super funny, bro. But yeah, I find it interesting, and I find it, I like the fact that Liam Bailey is there with Whisper, the first time to a competition, and he's there to play that big brother role that, I am a pro, this is what you're supposed to expect, and somebody, a familiar face, because obviously the kid is going to have a lot of pressure on him very soon. A lot of people will be expecting a lot from him, and him have Liam Bailey, who better to have as a mentor right now, brother, in terms of Jamaican football. Liam Bailey, I've heard it, he's very tall. You get me? I say whether I'm good, whether I'm not good. You know, we put him on the top of the pedestal and we take and we see him and tear him down. So who better to have as a mentor but Liam Bailey for Whisper?
So Leon Bailey is at the top of the pecking order right now. He's the guy on the team, and I think by 2026, 2027, I think Dejan Richards will have, usurped Leon Bailey and take his spot as the guy for the Reggae Boys team. So it's important to see what it is to be one of the leaders of the team, to be one of the best players of the team, to be the charismatic figure, and to lead from the front, which is what I think Leon Bailey tries his best to do.
Yeah.
So I think definitely a good role model, at least from the outside.
For sure. All right, so this is Liam Bailey speaking to a journalist. He was speaking about the team, and obviously a lot of people are not necessarily impressed with the Reggae Boys result, and this is his response to that.
Yeah. What I think people need to understand is we're still a team that's trying to build. There's a lot of new players in the team. We have a system that not a lot of persons are used to yet, and it takes time to build a team if you really want to be successful. And everything doesn't come overnight. It takes time. And we as Jamaican always think that because you're talented, that means you have to win games or you have to play the best of your ability.
You think that's true? You think Jamaicans honestly believe say once we have the name on paper, who's automatically supposed to start win game and start dominate people? What Liam Bailey saying right now true?
I don't think that's solely exclusive to Jamaicans. I think that's just
football fans overall, or sporting fans,
nation, worldwide. You're in a golden generation. You expect to produce.
Immediately. That's what he's saying.
Immediately, of course. You put a team together, you expect to get good results. Obviously it's unrealistic. We aren't the people out there playing. So we'll never ever fully understand. But it's definitely true what he's saying.
Yeah.
It takes hard work, it takes dedication, and it takes a lot of commitment and a lot of understanding. And sometimes we just need time to build as a group. As you can see, we have great players in the national team right now. We have a great coach. So we just need to build, and we need people to believe in the progress and the process and just be together as one, because that's what we need. And you can see as we go forward, the team is only getting better and stronger, and it's only going to get even better. And I think that's what we all need to understand sometimes. We need time to build as a group, and that's what any good team has to do. Any good team at all has to take time to build to be successful.
That is it.
What I love about this and
that is it.
And the press conference over.
And a full stop, that exclamation mark. Hear that?
I'm gonna get it, man.
Yeah.
But so when I really post not without exclamation either, What I love about this is that Liam Bailey never hide, bro. And even if he never did do that press conference, I would be hiding. But after what some would consider a bad game, the press conference immediately after him, never wait till the St. Kitts game, never wait till the second round or the quarterfinals or whatever. Immediately after that, he's facing the media, and he knows that the question never come. He knows that the performance are going to be called into question, and he knows that he must go answer it like a pro. And so far, I think Liam Bailey do a good job. I'm have to applaud him the way he answer the question. Then he's not shying away from nothing. He must sit up tall and cheer, and he must say, "Yo, it's a process. I want people support me. I want people trust the process." You see me? So, how you feel about him answer a while ago?
As I said, I couldn't have said it better myself. Obviously, I am one of these people who expect that you put 11 of the best players in CONCACAF on the field. You're supposed to be one of the best teams in CONCACAF immediately. I'm one of those people who want that to be the case, who almost expects it to be the case.
Understand when it's not?
And sometimes isn't even understanding when it isn't the case. But I'm a fan. What he's saying is 100% true. It's a process, and I remember Brentford, the beginning of the season. I was like, Jesus, what is Arteta doing?
Yeah.
And it's almost came full circle towards the end of last season, where Arsenal almost ended up winning the Premier League. So, rocky beginnings aren't unprecedented. In fact, it's almost inevitable. Yeah. So he's so outspoken in this interview. Very well spoken as well, very articulate, very profound in the things that he said, and I agree with it.
Yeah.
wholeheartedly and 100%.
Love the conviction in Leon Bailey's speech.
For
When
sure.
him talk, yes, he say believe what he must say, right or wrong. He believes what he's saying. And you need that as a leader in a team. You need to speak, and Leon Bailey so like him can't get you to play a game.
Yeah.
That's how me I get like you can see it in his eyes that he
After
believes what he's saying.
after like I've become more impressed with Andre Blake's
Mhm,
leadership, but
mhm.
I've also, championed Damian Lowe. But about a year ago I was on the Leon Bailey for captain bandwagon, and I kind of was like, you know what, Andre Blake doing a
Mhm.
good job. Seemed to be getting his things together. But after this interview, I'm back on the Leon Bailey as captain train, bro. After watching this
Blake,
press,
you do a great job, bro.
after watching this press
You
conference,
see
man, I
Blake
say,
on the
yo,
keys, I lead it same way.
see for the
You
keys,
see
bro.
Blake, you lead the check same way.
And
Me
the
I say, I'm
keys, bro.
impressed, bro.
Which is so good. He was so good on
But
the keys.
yeah, yeah.
So good. But
Leon Bailey is definitely a leader.
after watching this press conference, I was like, oh, Chippy wants to lead them out ends the whole Trinidad, bro.
Mentally strong, bro.
Yeah.
And immediately after the game, the man come and make him post and say, "Yo, if I was supposed to be down by every
Hmm.
time, I was my paraphrase. If every time I did something bad, it was to get me down. Where would I be, or something to that effect, bro? Awesome. And obviously, we don't always want to hear apologies. We want to get to a point where we not hear apologies, but at least face the music whenever I talk. You
Yep.
get me? I say, love that from Liam Bailey. Now, on
Okay,
to another question from another journalist, but I think the question is in this clip, so let's hear.
yeah, thank you. My mic was muted. Good afternoon, coach. In the first game, I have a two-part question, one for you, one for Leon. In the first game, you in the press conference, you said that the United States team was a team in mid-season with a lot of the MLS players. We saw where they made substitutions where they basically changed the game. But on your end, your substitutions were, I would say, a little bit. Would you say it was a little bit all over the place? Wasn't
First
as
of all, I love how Hallgrim's.
precise?
What's Liam
Yeah.
Bailey face?
No, but first of all, I love how Hallgrim's answer this question.
Yeah,
It's a question that a lot of us were asking, but the perspective that Hallgrim's gave in his answer
yeah,
showed that he's a learned man. But then again, he's a doctor after all,
bro.
right? So you can definitely see that
Mm.
Hallgrimson is indeed an academic in the way how he goes about answering the question, and in his thought process, he's definitely an intelligent man,
For
and
sure.
he showed who, in my opinion, an unintelligent journalist. Him show him up. You get me? I say him absolutely put him in place.
No,
And I loved how Hallgrimson handled the situation. And it gave me insight and perspective as to why he handled the situation the way he did. And I'm not as critical of him and how he managed his substitutions after hearing his
yeah.
answer.
Again, if you want to watch a full press conference over there on this side of Sports TV, some youth are doing some really good work. Check them out and share them channel. Them are go big. Anyways, yeah, he answered to the effect that him did have injury in mind,
Yes,
fatigue in mind,
because
and one
Amari
substitution in
Bell
the
down,
left.
you had to pull the trigger. And
Mikel
then
Antonio did tired.
yeah, so there were myriad of the players
Yeah,
were tired.
and a one win the left.
Yeah, because Leon Bailey went down, so they had to make Leon Bailey substitution. And so they were like, all right, what do we go from here? We have
Mhm.
to think about we have to pull Chippy, but we have to also think about as I said, Mikel Antonio tired, but we have to think about what happened in the
If something was
89th
supposed
minute
to.
if Damian Lowe can pop.
Our
Damian,
Blake the worst.
you get me? I
Like if
say,
Andre Blake get
yeah.
injured, I would not have a substitution
But as
window.
I say, you can't even think about the goalkeeper. You,
Yeah.
you can't. You're not save three subs
No,
in
I know,
yeah, but
but just I say in totality, if a player was supposed to go down and the most important player on the pitch is the goalkeeper at that moment, you're one goal up. We have to go put an outfield player in the goal. Like
but to
that's
be but
mad.
to be fair, I'm
No,
not save
I'm not
on a
saying.
regular basis. So would I rather use like a central midfielder where
Mm,
like, oh yeah, you might need to introduce fresh legs in that or the forward
I
or something
understand that.
like that. You get me? I say? Um like, and you have players with niggling injuries. So like, for example, Damian Lowe, you
Mhm.
might need to bring on a central defender.
Yeah.
You might get cramps up front. You don't really have cramps per se with
Mhm.
goalkeepers in that
I
situation.
understand. Yeah.
But the attacking, like the wing backs, the wingers who run all the time, and you have to think about that. And you have to think, say, you can't finish the game with 10 people.
Mhm.
Not because of a cramp,
Mhm.
considering that most of his players are in the off season, so on and so forth. So the way he managed the substitution, like I would have loved for him to have injected more pace and more energy. We have so many dynamic players on our bench, and I was excited for the depth that we had to show. Um, I would have hoped that he would have probably the second window.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
The timing could have been better. The use.
even the Amari Bell
Yeah.
substitution. At that point, that was in the second half when Amari Bell got hurt. At
Mhm.
that point, they could have made that a double substitution. They could have used that to introduce some energy up front, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So I think he could have managed his sub slots better. Yes, injury forced him to make one substitution, but I think at that time, even that time when Amari Bell went down, you could have shook things up or shaken things up in the front line. In addition to the Amari Bell substitution. So yes, definitely critical, but I like the way he answered this question and threw it back into this journalist face.
Meds man reaction.
I would say a little bit. Would you say it was a little bit all over the place? Wasn't as precise in the game.
I'm pretty sure Liam Bailey was like, "Wow, somebody get another press conference here and just say the man substitution all over the place." Like now, ask him, But like I say, wouldn't you say that your substitution? Like yeah, tell him what to say. I'm pretty sure Liam Bailey will gotta say, "Yo, come and look at his face." He's saying, "Wow, I can't understand, brother. I really ask."
Did you learn anything there? And the next question for Leon Bailey, I know that he might have seen that he was trending after the game, as the fans were. The same things keep coming back up, Leon, where the fans are concerned that whenever you play for the national team, you don't simplify the game. You tend to over dribble. As there were moments in the game where you had chances to make simple passes and you took on players. What's your take on that?
It might look like we are piling up on the journalist, but I care zero. It's coming from the question is coming from an all-knowing perspective. Like your substitutions were all over the place. Where you learn from this. Him say about Liam Bailey not playing the same way for him club or something like that. Like tell the man say they get me you not ask a question about something what I'm doing. You basically tell him say he's not good enough. And get it.
It seems as though this journalist would have come into the press conference to
either show up the man them or get a response out of somebody.
I think that's more along the lines of what I was trying to get at. It seemed as though he got access to this press conference simply to just tell Liam Bailey that he was unimpressive or not good today. Rather than asking him about his performance, rather than saying like how he's going to improve. He want to know where.
Ask him about performance. Ask him what
Liam Bailey think about the fans have an issue with his performance. I'm not sure. Oh.
Let's see the answer.
I'll start. I'll start with this. Two shots we need to save here. So first of all, the first two substitutions were kind of forced. So we had only one slot left, and it's always tricky when you know you have some tired legs on the pitch. It's always difficult to take that too early. If he would have lost a player with a cramp in the end, the third substitution was always going to be tricky for us. We have some good players on the pitch. Do we take a double or triple substitution? We waited with that because we didn't want to change a player and then it was 7 minutes extra time. So we didn't want to change a player if we had someone going out with a cramp and we didn't want to play one man down. So that was kind of all the substitution was kind of forced in one way or another. So it's the only way I can explain the substitution. So injury and the second one was also related to fatigue and injury, and then we only had one slot left.
I would like you to repeat the question because I want to make sure that I'm answering your question correctly.
Yes. So as in the game, we saw you had the opportunity to make the pass to Mikel Antonio going into the halftime break, and
he's taking it back. Like I'm pretty sure after this, him go back to the camp, him go back to the hotel room, and he must say, "Yo, brother, I can't believe it." When somebody just asked me at the press conference.
You over dribbled where it was 3 players, and a lot of the fans, I'm coming from the fans' perspective, are saying that when you play for the national team, unlike your club team, you don't simplify the game by making the simple pass. You tend to over dribble or do a little bit too much. Is that like the pressure from the national team, or you just play different at the club level and or at the national level?
No, first of all, I have to say, as I said before, we are still building. This is a team that's still building. A lot of people are new into the team most of the times, and we still have to get that connection with each other. And sometimes you can lack that a bit, and sometimes it only takes time to get that together. And I think that's what we need, a little bit more time to be able to, connect the dots better. But in terms of me, everybody know who Liam Bailey is. Do you know how much pressure I'm always under when I'm representing the national team? But that's not no excuse for me because I've been in the game for too long now. I've been a professional for 8 years. I'm used to pressure. Pressure has nothing to do with the way I play. If you watch how I play, you will see that I always try to do my best. I always work hard. And no matter what, I'll always give my 110% for my nation. And that will never stop. If that means I didn't perform well, then so be it. But when I walk off the pitch, I want to know I gave my 110. And I did that against US. And nobody's going to ever take that away from me. Once my family is good, the team is good, we're all good, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always going to give my 100% for the team. I'm always going to be there for my teammates. And so they're always there for me as well. And that's what really matters. At the end of the day, football is a sport that you win some, you lose some, you make mistakes, and you go again. That's just life and football.
Great answer. But you take charge of this one. Let me hear you have to say about that one.
As I said, amateur hour media. The journalist who asked that question, me and him have a lot of different takes. I think he was the pioneer of the quote unquote walk-in red card situation for Damon Lowe, a player who to date has only gotten one international red card. Also our best defender, like on the field, obviously I know Ethan Pinnock is a better player, but there's no defender that's been more consistent than Damon Lowe. And this is a person who's always had an issue with Damon Lowe for one reason or another. And he made me question them football argument. But the way how he attacked Hal Grimson and attacked Leon Dale rather than, asking a question and trying to get to an answer. Definitely amateur hour. But
Asking a question, suggesting an answer.
you get me, I say? But the way how Leon Bailey dealt with it was extremely professional. You can see that he was annoyed. And in fact, for a second there, I was worried that
He was going to get the response that he
he
wanted.
might have gotten unprofessional. Who knows? I may have gotten unprofessional in that situation, but Liam Bailey kept his composure, he kept his cool, and he was even more charismatic than I ever thought he had in him. And he showed it, talking about the team, saying that we're just building. And I think that was in response to it. I might have missed a run, because I used to play with Antonio like that. I work on that. I might have missed the mark a few times. My bad. You get me? I said, make a try better the next game, but I work on it. You see me? And I'm critical of Liam Bailey sometimes. And if he continues to play badly, I will continue to be critical of him. Don't get that twisted or misconstrued. But I also know what Liam Bailey can offer this team. I also know whenever Liam Bailey fires on all cylinders, he'll be one of the best players in CONCACAF, definitively. And I believe that will happen, soon and very soon. So I'll still rock with Chippy all the way, but still criticize him when he should be criticized. And I criticized him, and we criticized him heavily about his performance in the last game. However, coming into a press conference, I would probably say, Leon, evaluate your performance in today's game, and please note some points where you think you could probably improve going into the next game. That's a professionally asked question, right? I'm sure Leon would say, it's not a great game. You get me? So there are a few things that didn't happen. But the building, so when the chemistry connect, like we saw him and Shamar Nicholson started to build some real good chemistry. Obviously, there are players that might be slightly better than Shamar Nicholson, and as such, Shamar Nicholson has been relegated to the bench. He might forget to do this with Mikel Antonio now and Demarai Gray. And that does take time. And me, I'm an impatient guy, so I don't want it to take time. But I'm also not an idiot. I know that it will take time. So I'm very, very impressed with how professional he dealt with it in a situation where probably most others wouldn't. Maybe me, myself, who, I guess is a relatively educated individual, would have probably not have handled it as professional as Leon Bailey did. So big kudos to him. And the charisma that he demonstrated in this interview, the leadership quality that he showed, the mental toughness that he showed, A++, the way he handled this presser.
Yeah, and the answer was on point. If you dissect what he say, whenever I play for Jamaica, I'm giving my all. If that turns out in me having a bad game this time, then that's fine. If I have a good game, that's also fine. But just know that I'm giving 100%.
And
And what more can I ask from a player?
we made a video about it recently.
Spot on. We were spot on.
About people questioning his heart, and in the video, we were more notioning that we see where this guy gives his endeavor best when he plays in the national team colours, and that shouldn't be questioned. No, first 20 games of his career are done and dusted. If he was to retire after 20 games, he would not be a Jamaican football legend. But I'd assume that he have at least 60 then. So that means he have 40 more games.
And I go for tournaments.
You get me? So he has at least 40 more games for the national team to make this first 20 irrelevant. He can still score 20 goals in the next 40
And the first
games.
20 under a lot of turmoil. Under a lot of, unorganized.
Yeah.
Unorganized setup, And
Not that I'm finding
no excuses. No excuses. I'm just saying, don't question Liam Bailey's work ethic. Don't question his commitment, because he works hard. We think he works hard. It's not a blind man can see Liam Bailey out there in him heart out.
Yeah.
They can tell. Obviously, who are better performances, and probably because he's playing so hard, it's probably a reason why probably in need for control emotions a little bit better.
The only sensible snippet that I could have taken from the question that was asked by the journalist.
So maybe you working so hard for the team is why you're over, but not pressure.
Asking if it was, if it was because of the national team stage why it don't translate to Jamaica. That was the only part of the question that we could have said, all right, this have a little bit of sense to it. You get me? Because sometimes I wonder if he overdo it in the national colours because he wants to carry his team to the World Cup. And that's not a bad thing. And I think Coach Algrimson will have to work on that if that is the case. But I think Liam Bailey is becoming more cognizant of the fact that he's surrounded by very good players. And, when they get to know each other, I think it's going to fire like a rocket. As I said, him and Ravel and Bobby Reed and Shamar Nicholson had started to connect on a different kind of level.
Yeah.
I was started in the stadium against Mexico. It was something I wanted to build on, and I hope that we can see that sort of relationship with Demar Gray and him going forward. Because I think Gray and Liam Bailey, two 25-year-olds, two 26-year-olds.
Deadly players.
Yeah.
And if we can get the best out of them, who knows, man. Love the fact that he reiterates it's a building process. We are not the finished article. And, bro, I always knew, which is why I kind of based my expectation of the results of the games heavily on what we are and where we are in the process. We are the first, if I was to put that on a scale or make a percentage of the process, we can't be past 10-20% of the process yet. Can't. This is arguments of the take charge and third competitive game. There's no way we are well into the process. So I'm not judging these results too hard. I'm not looking for Jamaica to play flawless football. And sensible football fans can understand. Obviously, in the heat of the moment, you gotta say, brother, you can control the ball. You have eyes, you have vision, look up and make the pass. But in totality, we understand that we are not there yet. And in a couple of years, after the Gold Cup, we can say, all right, good tournament, bad tournament, keep it pushing. Gold Cup qualifier starter, Nations League start, we expect to see better. But now, I expect the next time we play US, we look the same way we played US 5 months ago. That's not what I'm expecting. But right now, we are nowhere close to the finished article. So, I'm glad to say we get that out of the camp and from the player and the coach. Let's see what else go on. Liam Bailey was, another journalist doubled down on the pressure question, asking him how he deals with the pressure and whatever.
What can you say to Jamaicans regarding patience with you, and when eventually we'll see your best?
Don't get me wrong. I did not say I'm under pressure. I did not say that. Don't get me wrong. I said, with my name comes with a lot of pressure. I did not say I'm under pressure. I'm not under pressure. Every time I go on that.
Tell the difference there.
All right. So first of all, he did say he was under pressure. First of all, let me just clear that up. In the question before, he did say that because of who he is, that puts him under a lot of pressure. But I understand what he's trying to say. I'm just being like extremely literal a while ago. But I know exactly what he meant about pressure coming with his name as compared to him being under pressure.
The
And
difference is whether it affects me or not. He's saying
yeah,
that there
yeah,
is
yeah.
pressure, it just doesn't affect me. That's what he's saying.
That's what he's trying to say.
Of course there is pressure. I'm Liam Bailey. I'm the most expensive Jamaican footballer. I play at the highest level. And I am supposed to be the best player for this team.
Mhm.
My name is in songs, bro. Like the number 7 on my back. When the Confrence him score goes and get assists, of course pressure did it. Does it affect me? No. And that's the difference right there. Some people
Yeah.
probably don't understand what I say, but I think that's exactly what he's trying to say.
I think people understand.
Yeah.
Pitch, I always make sure that my head is clear and I go out there to play the game of football that I know to play. I'm a professional player, been in the game for 8 years, so I know how to prepare for a game, I know how to handle pressure, and I've been doing so quite well so far. So I did not say I'm under pressure. What I can say to my Jamaican people is that we're still a team that's building, and sometimes you have to understand and not just be naive and think about what's happening now. Think about what's going to happen in the next 2 years, in the next 3 years, what Jamaica team is going to look like. Not just what's happening now. Not just how a guy dribble and lose the ball and he didn't make that pass. No, think about what's going to happen in the next 2-3 years from now when this actual team come together the right way and start playing the football, and then everybody can start coming and enjoying the game. That's what we want, and that's what we're working towards. So we just need the people to stop being naive and just think about what lays ahead in front of us. We're focused on building a stronger and better team than we had before and make it to our next World Cup. That's all of our focus, and winning this World Cup.
And if I can take over, a team is not one and a team. Team is a team. We win as one and we lose as one. So it's never about one guy's performance or one player's performance. And I hope slowly and steadily you will see that we will win as a team and we will then lose as a team whenever we do that.
You think it naive?
I'm not indicting Andre Blake.
No, but you can't say one or the other. If you say Gillian Bailey, the captain, see, I say take it from Andre Blake.
I'm not saying take it from Andre Blake.
The same breath, bro.
I'm not saying take it from Andre Blake. I'm saying give it to Liam Bailey.
Means taking it from Andre Blake. Know if Andre Blake is sitting and answer them questions, I'm very that impressed. Andre Blake, you know when Andre Blake talk, bro, the man literally call them out and say, yo, come play for him now. Blake, you're captain now. I do Blake that. And Blake been impressed with you, so I never stick up for
I'm not doing
the 18
game anything, bro. But
don't get lost in the start. Don't get lost in the moment. Take it rest. Liam Bailey, I win you over.
Charismatic, man.
Yeah, loving it.
And people will know, Liam Bailey, I'm a baller. Nothing like that.
In fact, I have been more bullish on Liam Bailey over the years than you.
Yeah, so, but I understand what he brings to the table and I know how important he is. In fact, I know he's key in our success going forward, and I will continue to say that.
For sure.
But very impressed with the leadership demonstrated on camera.
And he continues to say it. We're building. Look 2 and 3 years down the line. Now it looks so far still. May I look next year? I remember say start next year.
Starting in September.
It start this year. League. Don't. May I talk about World Cup qualifiers and all that.
Next year. September.
May I look next year? May I wait? But now I look 2 years from now and 3 years from now, even though that's probably when we will know, how everything look. But
bro,
really impressed,
Nations League starts September, bro. By Nations League, how much game
more start with some good results.
Trinidad and St. Kitts guaranteed. Mexico / Haiti, I guess. Guaranteed. So we have 3 more games guaranteed in the World Cup. That's a 3 more game for the team work together. So that's a 3 more guaranteed game before Nations League starts. Then the things that we can get we crap together in a 3 weeks, 3 more game.
We're definitely supposed to be better. We're supposed to be a better team. We're supposed to be playing better football. As much as we can say, I'm expecting better. Will the results come? I hope that they come. I don't want to say Grimson under that pressure because he speaks well. He says the right things. In football, in style of play, I like it. Someone wants to see the coach win. I love Jamaica can win with the way we are playing. So let's continue. A fan asked after this. What is it? 600 fans or 500 fans? 600 fans were in the stadium. Did you feel it on the pitch? Did the energy transcend? Liam Bailey answers.
Loud chanting and cheering from those brave 600 or so Jamaicans who were there. Did you feel it on the pitch, and did it motivate the team? The fans who were there and those who are following the team. That's what we would like to know.
Most definitely. We felt it on the pitch, and that's what we want every game that we play. That's what we're working towards. And obviously at the end of the games, always getting results to make you guys proud as well. But I want to say we're all grateful for the support, and we'll always continue to do our best to ensure that we can bring back the Jamaican national team football to when I was a kid. I know I used to go to the national stadium and see how packed the stadium was. That's the level we want it to be back at. And I can tell you, we felt it on the pitch and everybody was buzzing out there. Fortunately, I didn't take my opportunity, but at the end of the day, we're all still grateful for the support, and I'm always going to be grateful.
That is it. So,
What is Dr. Algerson writing?
the question. No. The question, man, I have no clue. He's always writing. Algerson always alright, brother. The man want to get him question them. The man want to make sure him know when Liam Bailey answer. He want to make sure what kind of shirt the press officer will set up this aware. The cameraman, what him did flinch.
I
We
swear.
know Algerson right on that.
I swear.
Bro,
swear.
that guy is always writing. But yeah,
Yes.
another answer from Liam Bailey. I get impressed. You know, he spoke about the fans, and of course, bro, you see the Jamaican supporters, 600 people, probably got lost in.
That big old soldier.
Yeah, bro, he probably got lost, but best believe him, see, bro. Best believe when them score, them see everybody are real up. You get me? I say so. Yeah, big shout out to the people that made it. In a few, bro, more be able to go some for go some of these away games for Jamaica, and then another a little contingent there. But yeah. How you feel about the way Liam Bailey feels and the team feels towards the fans? Like the energy, like the connection we make back.
I always felt like the team remained connected with the fans. I never ever felt disconnected.
The fans are definitely disconnected with the team. Hence, can't even 20% full stadium.
I guess Jamaica have a bandwagon culture because if England lose 10 games straight, Wembley going full up.
Yeah, but the English team have credit in the banks there.
Huh?
Some would disagree, but
so we use all our credit.
bro, now credit in the bank better than 98, you know?
As I'm saying, if England lose 10 games straight and don't qualify for the World Cup, Wembley still have a fulfill the next Nations League game against San Marino. And that's that's just the bandwagon culture that we have. And I can safely call out that because when I was paying to watch Reggae Boys play, and since recently I haven't been paying to watch them play, I've always been present, like for as long as I can remember.
And I'm sure you can remember times when the stadium was 75% full.
Yeah, 100% full. I remember playing against Panama after the Mexico game, after we drew with Mexico in the 2010 World Cup qualifiers. Or was it the 2014 World Cup? I remember which one. When Macanov could have make a winner as taker. Come back, we played Panama. We drew that match. There were people coming in from over the walls, bro. There's another time when we played the USA. We beat them 2-1, Luton Shelton free kick. Stadium did full,
and that's not that long ago. That's not that long ago.
Stadium did full, bro.
We can get back to those times. And Liam Bailey, and I'm sure the team wants to support, want the Jamaican fans to come out and support them, bro. We can. If the people from Kingston alone, brother Portmore alone can follow us stadium, they get me and say, never. It's just so discouraging to know that, when the players come home, them now get the support that they should get. Whether them deserve it or not, that's another conversation. Are they putting in performances to warrant people getting up and spending their $2,000 or them 1.5 to come sit down on a tough concrete over bleachers? I don't know whether them deserve it or not. But as a Jamaican fan, and if we're as diehard as we say, supposed to cheering the boys and support them. And even in previous press conferences, I've heard Al Gibson, stress the fact that they need the Jamaican support, they need the support of the fans. And here on our YouTube channel, I've been calling for the support of the fans. I want people to, just support them, and if it not work, then we talk about it. But for now, let's give them all the support we can. You see it? Feel any better for the game later?
Yeah.
Optimistic again, or are you still optimistic?
Not super optimistic. I don't think we'll get it together to put on a great performance.
Enough to win it?
I don't think we'll put on a great performance.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll get the result because Captain Jamaica said so, bro.
All right.
And by Captain Jamaica, I meant Mikel Antonio, who in an interview and say, rough match, but we're getting better. We'll go out and win. against Trinidad. Mikel Antonio said that out of own mouth. And I believe him. I believe Antonio. So I think we'll
Don't
do
make
enough.
yourself a liar, boy.
I think we'll do enough to get a result. I'm still not expecting a good performance. I just think we still have a lot to figure out.
I hear you. I
You see
hear
it
you.
on Pinnock.
I hear you. But there we go. Reacting to the press conference that Coach Algrimson and Liam Bailey did. You know, a couple interesting answers. And we brought them down for you guys and let us
You
know.
think the reason why Damian Lowe did play the right centre back is because Maps
The left side.
literally
Yeah, right.
he did play right. So
Mhm.
because Maps literally fill the void for Ethan until him come back.
Mm.
Them just say, because Damian Lowe normally play left side of centre back for
Whenever we do have a better.
yeah, whenever he was the man around there. But this was the first time.
Because I guess I would
This was the first time I see my play with Mariapa and I play for the normally Mariapa beside the right back.
yeah, because the thinking is if Damian Lowe is our best centre back, we rather have the weaker centre back
Yeah.
in a more comfortable
Mhm.
position and ask the stronger centre back to, play the left side. But maybe no arguments just to say you focus on your role, play the right side, get a connection with Lemmy Keita.
Yeah.
We need to
I
come
think
figure it out. You see me so? Yeah. That's it there.
He's just popping on my head.
Yeah, people, if you like the video.
Bro, I feel like I'll eat some cinnamon toast crunchies.
No, stop it, what stop you?
Cinnamon toast crunchies. Hook you up and give you a sponsorship, bro.
I will make cinnamon. I will make cinnamon toast.
We really a Kellogg's?
Probably kill out.
Yeah, but we really like enjoy the products. Like hit me up, decidethatsportstv@gmail.com.
And just for nice it up, send some old make to people. Subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. And do one more thing for us, though.
Share the video to at least 10 people, but ensure to get us 6 subscribers because if each and every one of you guys can manage to do that, you know how many subscribers that get us by the end of the day. That was one break, people. But
that is it. People for now. This was Decided That Sports TV.
God, my father.
See me after this.